Alright, hello everyone. In this video, we are going to go through the Mario staircase problem. So we will look at the problem itself, what the problem says, what we need to solve. We'll look at the solution and how to come up with the solution, and then we'll finally code out the solution. So what will you get out of the video? You'll get to know how to use your logic and your mind to come up with algorithms, how to solve these challenges, and basically go through like step by step and how to actually come up with a solution using code. So the problem statement. The problem statement states that using asterisks or stars, print Mario staircase of length n. So when we have the n4, we'll print out the stars in this manner. So we'll be having like 4 spaces, 1 star, 2 spaces, 2 stars, and you'll notice a pattern over here, which is like we have the length and the width is the same. So we'll be having four columns and 4 rows. So here is a more visual appearance. So here I've divided this, I've created a table and I've placed these boxes, this staircase boxes in appropriate places. So like we have the columns over here, 1 2 3 4, and then we have 4 rows. So if n is 4, we'll be having 4 rows and 4 columns. Now the first thing you'll notice over here that we need to use some kind of a loop to be able to print out the stars in their appropriate places. So we'll go through the loop. The first loop will need basic 2 loops. So the first loop will go through the rows. So it will go through the first row, the second row, the third row, and the fourth row. And the second loop will go through the columns. So it will go through the first column, the second column, the third column, and the fourth column. Okay, now the pattern over here is like you can see that the first column of the first row is blank, it's a space. The second column of the first row is still a blank, and then the third column of the first row is blank. The fourth one is where we need to place a star. On the second row, the third and the fourth is where we'll need to place the stars, and then so you can see this, there's a pattern over here. And let's get to code now. Let's see how we've already visualized this. Now let's see how the implementation will look like when we are coding. So let's go. So I've already created the Mario file over here, named it mario.py, and I will hard code this n. So I will say n is 4, and we'll be needing for 2 loops, right? The first loop will go through the columns. The second loop is the one that will go, sorry, the first loop will go through the rows, and the second loop will go through the columns. So we'll be having like, I will say I will start by initializing I is 1, and then I will say while I is less than or equal to n. So I will be 1, I will be 2, 3, and 4. So 4 is still less than or equal to n. So after, when I will turn 5, that's when we will stop the loop. Now the second loop, I will start by initializing the j variable. So I will say j equals to 1 again. So what we want to do is we want to restart j at every row. So the first row j will be 1, the second row the j will start it to 1, and then we'll go through the second and third, then the fourth column, right? So here is where I want to insert the loop inside this row. So this will go through the rows, and then I want to restart the columns. So this will be the column variable. Okay, so let me say, instead of I and j, let me say row is 1 and then the column is 1. So while row is less than or equal to n, and then I will restart the column at every row, and then I will say while column is less than or equal to n. Okay, so we'll go through the first column, the second column, the third column, and the fourth column. And what I want to do over here is basically, if column is 1, it's a blank, column is 2, blank, column is 3, it's a blank, 4 is a blank. So we will need to come up with some kind of like an equation where we can say we need to like do if n minus I. So if n minus I, so this is represented by I. So 4 minus 1 is 3, 4 minus 2 is 2, 4 minus 3 is 1. So the first row, if we do 4 minus 1, we get 3. So we can see over here for the 3 columns, we have a space. And the fourth one is an asterisk. For the second column, we do 4 minus 2, and we say like the 2 are spaces, and then the third and the fourth column, we have a star, we place a star. And on the third row, when we do 4 minus 3, we get 1. So it says 1 is a space, and then second, third, fourth is a star. So it's basically, this one is J. If J is less than or equal to n minus I. So n is 4, I is 1, J is 1 over here. So basically, let's visualize this. Okay, let's come over here, and I will say on the first, if I is, if n minus I, right, is greater than, so 4 minus 1 is greater than 3, 3 is greater than 1, right, 3 is greater than 2, 3 is greater than or equal to. So if n minus I is greater than or equal to J, sorry, I said row and column. I want to print out a space, but I want them to be printed out on the same line. So if I print out separately, this will print out like 4 like lines. So I don't want to do this. Instead, what I'll do is I will create a string over here. So I will say S equals to an empty string, and then I will say S equals to, so I'll add a space into it, and then I would say S equals to a star. So I place a star. So n minus the row, so n minus the row 1, 3. So 3 is greater than or equal to 1. Yes. 3 is greater than or equal to 2. Yes. 3 is greater than or equal to, yes. Is 3 greater than or equal to 4? No. So we place a star. Okay. Fair enough. So let me not forget to increment the column over here, and let me not forget to increment the row at the bottom. Now I want to print out the string over here, and so this looks good. Let's run. Let me run the program. So Python 3.9 and Mario. Yeah, so this one did the job. So we have the first, the second, and the third, and the fourth. Okay, so this let me do. Okay, so if now If I say n is 8 and I run Python, so you can see we'll be having 8 rows and 8 columns. So I hope you got something new to learn from this video. I hope you got to learn how to go through the algorithms, how to come up with like how to draw kind of you know a diagram to help you out to solve an algorithm. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, and comment down below what went well, what did not, what you want me to improve on, and let me know if you want more videos like this in the future. Thank you. Until next time. See ya.